Attucks, c. 1723, March 5th, 1770, is widely regarded as the first casualty of the American Revolution, having been the first person killed in the Boston Massacre. Born in Framingham, Massachusetts, to parents of African and Native American descent, Attucks escaped enslavement to work as a sailor and longshoreman along the Atlantic seaboard. Cite Search 1. On March 5, 1770, he stood at the forefront of a protesting crowd in Boston and was shot by British soldiers, a moment that galvanized colonial resistance to British rule. Cite Search 4. Over the centuries, Attucks has become an enduring symbol of Black patriotism and anti-tyranny. From 19th century abolitionists to the Black Lives Matter movement, honored in memorials, schools, and public commemorations across the United States. Cite Search 2. Early life and background. Attucks was born around 1723 in Framingham, Massachusetts, likely the son of Prince Younger, an enslaved African man, and Nancy Attucks, a Natick Indian woman. Cite Search 3. Town records from the mid-19th century describe Attucks as having escaped from enslavement under Deacon William Brown, adopting the alias Michael Johnson to avoid recapture. Cite Search 11. By the 1750s, he had become a sailor and whaler, spending much of his life at sea and working the docks of Boston's bustling harbor. Cite Search 1. During his time in Boston in early 1770, he was known as a skilled longshoreman and negotiator, respected by both Black and white dock workers. Cite Search 4. The Boston Massacre. On the evening of March 5, 1770, tensions between Bostonians and British troops escalated outside the Custom House on King Street. Attucks, leading a group of townspeople, confronted the soldiers, and in the ensuing chaos, he was the first to fall, struck by a shot to the head. Cite Search 9 Search 0. Eyewitness accounts variably described him as a mulatto or Indian, reflecting his mixed heritage, and noted that he rallied the crowd with a distinctive war whoop before the firing began. Cite Search 1. His death, alongside 4 other colonists, was immortalized in Paul Revere's engraving of the massacre and used by patriot leaders to fuel anti-British sentiment throughout the colonies. Cite Legacy and Commemoration. By 1858, Boston abolitionists had established an annual Crispus Attucks Day to honor his sacrifice and advance the cause of emancipation. Cite Search 1. In 1888, a 25-foot monument was erected on Boston Common depicting the massacre scene, with Attucks at its center beneath the figure of Free America, crushing a royal crown. Cite Search 1. Throughout the 20th century, civil rights leaders invoked Attucks as the original Black patriot, and in 1940, he was featured at the American Negro Exposition in Chicago. Cite Search 7. More recently, the Black Lives Matter movement has reclaimed Attucks' legacy as a symbol of resistance against racial injustice and police violence. Cite Search 2. Institutions from the Crispus Attucks High School in Indianapolis to the Attucks Theater in Norfolk bear his name, ensuring his story remains part of the nation's collective memory. Cite Search YouTube script. Opening shot, a quiet colonial-era street, dawn. On a cold March night in 1770, one man's stand against oppression would ignite a revolution. This is the story of Crispus Attucks, the first martyr of America's fight for freedom. Cut to painting of Attucks at the Boston Massacre. Born around 1723 in Framingham, Massachusetts, to an African father and a Natick mother, Crispus Attucks escaped the bonds of slavery to carve out a life at sea and on Boston's bustling docks. Cite the animated map showing his travels as a sailor. Trading the rigors of enslavement for the rolling waves, Attucks became a trusted longshoreman and sailor. But by early 1770, economic hardship and British occupation had pushed him back to the tense streets of Boston. Cite Search 4. Dramatic reenactment of the crowd confronting British soldiers. Narrator. On March 5th, a confrontation erupted outside the Custom House. Attucks, standing at the front, rallied his fellow colonists with a fierce battle cry. only to be the first felled by a British musket ball to the head, sight, turn search